What does all this mean for the general election come November? Because it looks like Hillary Clinton's taking command on the Democratic side, and Donald Trump certainly has a lead on the Republican side. We are back with our panel. Brandon Lenoir of High Point University, Ken Fernandez of Elon, and Corey Walker of Winston-Salem State. If it is indeed a Hillary versus Donald Trump matchup, I think the numbers that I have seen, this is not an opinion, this is the numbers that we're seeing projected, Donald Trump doesn't stand much of a chance. What do you guys see?
I think the remarkable record-breaking turnout on the Republican side in pretty much every state suggests that maybe they can turn that into a nice ground game, which could assist the GOP nominee, presumably Trump. So I don't know if it'll be a blowout, but I think you're right. The national numbers and polls, and the Elon poll shows that Clinton does pretty well against Trump.
Winning 6 million votes in a primary is not winning the 65 million you have to win for a general. What do you think about this?
And you're not going to, what you also have to worry about is how do you build your electorate beyond just the primary vote? I mean, how do you become that general candidate that appeals to all? I mean, you look at the unfavorables for Donald Trump. I mean, they're astronomically high.
In his home state, twice as high as his favorables.
Hillary Clinton also has some high unfavorables as well. But what you also have is on the Trump end, you have 70% Trump polling 70% of just men. And there's not going to be a presidential candidate that's polling just that high without women, without African Americans, without Latinos, without Asian Americans. So what you need is a candidate who's able to pull together a good, broad coalition of folks.
And Brandon, can Donald Trump morph into that candidate by the fall?
Well, he basically said it in the last debate that he's a deal maker and he's more than willing to change his positions.
What did he say? I'll be whatever I need to be. Is that basically what he said?
He did, but you know, he has been so efficient at offending all of the groups that we just were discussing, it's going to be really hard for him to come back and make a case that, well, I didn't mean all of that. So I think he does have an uphill battle in a general election, but really when it comes down to it, it's the economy that we have to pay attention to. This is 92 all over again. If the economy continues to move along in a positive fashion, that bodes well for the Democrats. If the economy takes a dip, we could be looking at President Trump.
Because Hillary Clinton has said, I'm going to sort of continue much of the legacy of President Obama. But that said, President Obama, very successful at the presidential elections. The Democratic Party has been largely decimated beneath him at the state level, at the local level. But now it looks like the Republicans who could implode no matter what happens. If Trump is the nominee, so many people are going to defect. If Trump has it taken from him, his people, how do they rebuild this, Corey?
I think what you're seeing is you may see the implosion of the Republican Party as a national party, as this national entity around presidential politics, but you still have a very strong Republican Party at the local level. You look at the state house.
That doesn't trickle down?
No, it's not going to trickle down. Okay. That's going to be the harder part. I mean, Republicans have built a strong local, statewide, region-wide base. That's enormous. That edifice is something that worries the Democrats. Democrats may win the White House, but they can't win everywhere else.
Well,
and that's
clearly you have divisions in the party right now, but you saw divisions in the Democratic Party with Southern Democrats and Dixiecrats, which slowly mended, and so we'll see how they try to mend these cleavages.
And they still structurally have some advantages with gerrymandering and having controlled the state legislatures. So the cards are actually stacked in their favor for at least the next couple election cycles. So I don't think that it's going to be a complete wash at the local level, but they're going to take a hit.
But
and
then,
remember,
yeah, go ahead.
We're in a moment where just a few months ago, we never would have thought we'd be talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about the presumptive Republican nominee. So anything is possible. That's the beautiful thing about democracy.
But
anything is possible.
I can see the party faithful at the higher end coalescing around him because they want to win and they want to beat Hillary Clinton. It's these voters who have come out for Trump who weren't voting before. They're the ones who are going to stay home if he has the nomination taken from him.
Well, what you're looking at, but you also have to understand that a number of folks who are coming out, these are voters who may be active in local politics. Now they're coming out for their first presidential primary. So you're not looking at just an absence of folks. Now folks are feeling like I have a reason to vote in these national elections. I have a candidate that resonates with my local aspirations and here nationally. So now here's my point, here's my opportunity to make a statement. And I'm making a statement that reflects my local interests, but now I'm making it to a national establishment that has not been listening to what we're doing.
And Trump is saying that he's bringing in new voters.
And to his credit, he probably is. Probably not the number that he keeps touting, simply looking at the vote share that he's been receiving. However, he is bringing new voters into the fray. So we'll have to see what happens to those voters in the event that it goes to a brokered convention. Those people are going to be upset. We've seen how they've behaved at the various rallies, so it'll be interesting.
So the quick one-word answer, in November we're going to say hello to President...
The best candidate will win.
Okay. All right, we'll see. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.